Welcome aboard Alameda Star, a Cushing 40, which is also known as a Trader 41-2, a Tarquin 41-2, a Spindrift 40, and a Vista 40. They were all made by the same manufacturer in Taiwan. The manufacturer is Cushing. Right now they make large luxury motor yachts called, I believe, Montefino. This boat was built in 1983. She was always kept in the Delta in California in fresh water, so she's in exceptionally good condition. In fact, in the winter, I keep her up at Oxbow Marina undercover, which really preserves the vessel. I've had her for about a year now, and she's proving to be terrific. What we're going to do in these videos is first we'll show you the interior, the amenities of the interior. Then we'll look at the technical side of the vessel in a subsequent video. And then we'll do obviously a tour of the outside. And I also hope to get videos when we're underway in San Francisco Bay. So the type of boat this is called a trawler, a Sundeck trawler, but it's really a motor yacht. It's got an aft Sundeck, which we'll show later. It's not a trawler because a true trawler has got round bilges, and this vessel's got square bilges. Which gives her more initial stability, but not so much ultimate stability. And then she also has a 3/4 keel running along the bottom instead of a full keel that you would get on a trawler. She's got twin-engine Volvos, which we'll look at when we do the technical details of the boat. And she weighs about 28,000 pounds, and she's 45 feet over length. But what I'm going to do now is give you a tour of the interior of Alameda Star, of the cabin, and give you some of the high points and also some of the compromises. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off in the V cabin. The V cabin also has 2 bunks in it, as you can see here. The 2 bunks are raised up, and the reason that they are raised up is because then you can see out of the porthole. Also, it gives you more storage below the bunks, which I think is actually really nice. And then there is a skylight hatch above. One of the things I'll say about the Cushing is that the joiner work on the vessel is excellent. It's also in excellent condition. It's solid teak. The teak here is a veneer on all the bulkheads. It's a veneer, and then this door closes, and then you've got a little forward cabin here, which is really nice. It's my dog Babe. She's a sweetheart. Hi, Babe. Then we move into the galley. The galley is very functional. This is known as a galley down, or a down galley. It means that you have to step down into it. The advantage of that is that your galley or your cooking is away from the guests in the main salon, which is also a disadvantage for some people. They want to be up. They want the galley up. So some vessels have galley up, some have galley down. Frankly, I don't have a preference for either. On my last boat, which was a Grand Banks 32, a Woody, the galley was up, and that was very nice too. So the stove here is a propane stove. It's got 4 burners and an oven. It works terrific. I love it. And then one of the great things I think they designed into this boat is the just incredible amount of storage space. So that you've got storage here. You've got storage over here, and then above and below, which is terrific. And then she's got a 3/4 size refrigerator, and then also a freezer too. Don't keep anything in there right now. This runs off both the batteries and also 110, which is nice. And with the propane stove and this not requiring 110 all the time, there's really no need for a generator, but she does have a generator that we rarely use. In fact, I think the last owner rarely used it. It's only got 90 hours on it. And then you've got a very deep double sink, which is great. Pressurized water. I think it's a 6-gallon hot water tank, and then this is a manual pump. I guess that's if your electric pump goes out. And then storage below here. And then we move into the VIP head, and this can also double as a shower. However, right now we don't have it set up as that. And very comfortable, very light. One of the things that they do in the heads in these vessels is they use a lot of fiberglass, which just makes the cleanup really easy. And then just moving aft here, we have the control panel, and we'll go through all of that in the technical discussion of the vessel. And then you have access to the engine room. It's really partial access here, and then aft you have it, and then all the floor you have access to there. And we'll show you that when we do the technical walkthrough of the vessel. Okay, as we continue, it's got a lower helm station with all the gauges there, the Volvo Pentas, the 165 horsepower each. And this is nice having the dual stations, because in inclement weather you can always come down here. On the Grand Banks 32 that I had, that was known as a sedan. It did not have a trunk cabin in the aft or a sundeck. The sedan is better to steer, frankly, down below, because you have much better visibility aft. Here you do have interrupted visibility aft, so then you can step out and you can look aft if you want to do that. So the main salon here, I'll do a tour around. It consists of both fixed and movable furniture. Over here is an example of fixed furniture, where it's a settee and you can sit there. And then the movable furniture, it's got a high and low table, which is right there, with 2 seats. And if you've got people over for dinner, you just move the table over and you can all sit around. So that actually works out really well. And then there's a little bar table right here that opens up. We've never used that. You'll notice there's a lot of opening ports here, which gives a lot of tremendous ventilation. But it's also why you would classify this really as a coastal cruiser, inland waterway vessel, because these windows are really too big for ocean work. There's just too much exposure there. But we don't do that, so that's fine. And then you've got, extra storage here. This is kind of fun. From Vistaprint, love Vistaprint. Welcome aboard. We'll put that right there. We're very much into branding on the boat. We have Alameda Star everywhere. Okay, so a couple other points about the main salon here is you've got an opening hatch here. And then you've got an opening hatch over there, which is terrific. It means you can get out to either side of the vessel when you're docking very easily. Some of these boats, let's talk about how they were configured in the cabin. Some of the later models, you could access the Sundeck with a hatch back here. Pros and cons to that. Some people love being able to get out there quickly. It's 3 steps. It just takes up a little bit more room, and so I think that, I'm not sure if that's a real positive, but some people prefer that. And then with some of the models, as we discussed, you can have a galley up, and then where the galley is, that can be a 3rd cabin. It makes for an enormous I don't know what you call this, bulkhead here, and I think it's a little bit overdone. But again, pros and cons. It's a boat. There's always compromises. And look at my dog. She's a pit bull. Maybe we should do a video on her. Okay, so let's keep moving aft. Where we're going now is the aft cabin. Before we get there, there's full storage in here. You'll notice the 2 hot and cold. That's because you can put a stackable washer and dryer on this. But honestly, we never go for that long, so we don't need that. And I like having extra closet space. You never have too much closet space. And so this is the aft cabin. As you can see, the woodwork is beautiful on this vessel. Just tremendous. And you've got a lot of ports. We just came back actually from a run to Sausalito, so that one's all salty. It was incredibly rough. 25 knots we had at the peak. The roughest I've ever been in San Francisco Bay. We'll talk about that next time, maybe. But again, you can just see the beautiful, beautiful woodwork in here. It's really comfortable, and the bed is huge. And of course, those are the captain and the admiral right there. You've got more storage here, which is great, and then more storage that side. So this cabin runs the full beam of the boat, and that's really why it's called a Sundeck trawler. We discussed that, motor yacht, because it's the full beam. If you've got a trunk cabin, your aft cabin is smaller. Pros and cons of those. So obviously the pro of the Sundeck is 2. You get the huge Sundeck up there, and you get the full-size aft cabin. The minus, and it could be a pretty big minus for you, is that it's much less aesthetically pleasing, I think, than either a sedan style, where you wouldn't have a cabin back here, or a trunk cabin, because it breaks up the line a little bit with the trunk cabin. It makes the aft of the vessel look very large relative to all of it. So there's things that we've done that we'll talk about on the outside to kind of make it a little bit more graceful. Although I would not say it's a graceful line. Again, it's one of those compromises. This cabin's beautiful. Sitting on the Sundeck is amazing. And so it's a compromise I'm happy to make. The Grand Banks was prettier. But we'll talk about the comparisons between the Grand Banks that we had and this one later on. And then we come into the head here, which has got a bathtub. I've never taken a bath. Had the shower. It's terrific. And then that leads into a sump that gets pumped overboard. That's called grey water on a boat. And then we've got an electric head where it just runs like that. And then it goes into a holding tank that you pump out. Very important to pump out, and again, very light, very, very, very comfortable. So that is your tour of Alameda Star. Welcome aboard, and there's Babe. What do you think, Babe? You like it? Yeah, she loves it, and she's great on the boat. Put a life jacket on her when we're underway. All right, terrific. Thank you.